Why do we trust these pieces of paper and metal? What gives currency its power?
Welcome to a journey exploring the fundamental question: why is currency worth anything at all? It's a question that's puzzled humanity for millennia. Before money, how did people trade?
They used a barter system, direct exchange of goods and services.
You have something I want, and I have something you want. Simple, right? Not always.
Imagine a farmer with a surplus of apples wanting a pair of shoes. But the shoemaker already has enough apples. He needs a new hammer. The trade fails.
This is the problem of the double coincidence of wants. Both parties must desire what the other offers.
It makes large-scale trade incredibly inefficient and complicated.
How do you measure the value? Are 5 chickens equal to 1 cow? It's subjective.
Divisibility is another issue. You can't easily chop a cow into smaller units for trade.
So, society started looking for a solution, something universally accepted.
Enter commodity money, items used as currency that also had intrinsic value.
Cowrie shells, for example, were used across Africa and Asia for centuries.
They were durable, portable, recognizable, and relatively scarce, giving them value.
Salt, essential for preserving food, was so valuable it gave us the word salary. Metals like gold and silver eventually became dominant. Why? They were durable and rare.
They don't rot or spoil, and their scarcity made them highly desirable.
The next step was standardization. Weighing gold dust for every transaction was cumbersome.
So, governments or rulers started minting coins of a fixed weight and purity.
These coins represented a guaranteed amount of precious metal, simplifying trade.
The image on the coin often represented the issuer, guaranteeing its authenticity.
This made transactions quicker, fairer, and fostered trust in the currency.
Later, people would deposit their gold with goldsmiths or early banks for safekeeping.
They received paper receipts, essentially promises to pay the bearer on demand.
These receipts were the precursors to modern paper money, initially representative money.
You could trade the receipt instead of the heavy gold. Much more convenient. However, the value was still tied to a physical commodity, the gold in the vault.
But what happens when we remove that physical backing? When money isn't gold?
This leads us to fiat money. Its value isn't derived from a commodity.
Instead, its value comes from government decree and, crucially, public trust. It's a collective agreement, a shared belief that a piece of paper or a digital number holds value.
This value is fundamentally rooted in trust. Trust in institutions and in each other.
Without this trust, currency is merely paper or data. Its power comes from our collective faith.
Our trust is placed in governments and central banks to manage and uphold the currency's value.
These institutions work to ensure stability, control inflation, and maintain economic confidence.
They provide the infrastructure and regulation that makes our monetary system function reliably.
But how did we evolve from bartering to complex financial systems based on this trust.
Let's take a quick journey through the evolution of money to understand its journey.
Initially, people bartered, directly exchanging goods and services without any form of currency.
This was inefficient. Imagine needing shoes but only having apples, and the shoemaker needs wheat.
Soon, commodity money emerged. Items with intrinsic value, like gold, silver, or even salt.
These items were valued for their material, making them widely accepted for trade and payment.
However, carrying large amounts of precious metals was impractical and often dangerous.
This led to the rise of representative money, then eventually to what we call fiat currency.
Fiat currency is money that has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by a physical commodity.
Its value comes from government decree, making it legal tender, and crucially, our collective trust.
We accept it because we trust others will accept it too, creating a self-reinforcing system.
This widespread acceptance is paramount. Imagine a currency no one believes in or accepts.
So, if it's based on trust, what can affect a currency's value in the real world?
Many factors influence how much a currency is actually worth, both domestically and globally.
When inflation is high, your money buys less, effectively reducing its purchasing power.
It's like the value of your currency is slowly eroding over time, impacting everyone.
As we can see from the rising trends here, the impact is significant. However, the opposite phenomenon reveals a very different economic landscape.
While it might sound good, widespread deflation can signal economic problems and instability.
People delay spending, anticipating lower prices, which slows economic growth considerably.
Like any commodity, currency's value is also influenced by supply and demand dynamics.
If demand for a currency is high, perhaps due to strong exports, its value will increase.
A country's overall economic stability and growth prospects also play a massive role.
A stable economy attracts investment, increasing demand for its currency and strengthening it.
In a globalized world, international trade and exchange rates are also crucial determinants.
Ultimately, currency is a powerful tool, a testament to human cooperation and shared belief.
Its worth isn't inherent, but rather a reflection of the trust we place in its system.
Thank you for joining me on this exploration of currency. Keep questioning, keep learning.